Hey friends, Far From Polished here with this simple and cute football manicure. Football season starting this week, so I wanted to get a jump on the festivities. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy this tutorial. So I'm starting off with fresh clean nails. My cuticles are pushed back, they've been filed down, and I took Oral-B's Bonder base coat. It's a rubberized base coat, and I happen to prefer this one because I feel like it helps the nail polish adhere a little bit better. I've taken Sinful Colors Nirvana, OPI's It's a Piazza Cake, and Essie's Over the Knee colors to make this particular color that I wanted to use for the football. I felt like I didn't have the right type of brown to use to make a football on my nail, and so I used these three colors. As you can see, the formula is incredibly thick. I'm struggling to get the even coats put down on my nail. But I'm not at all displeased with the result. I just wanted to kind of highlight how important formula really is. You can get nail polishes from all over the place, but the formula is important. Next, I'm taking OPI's Alpine Snow as the base for the index finger. And the reason why I'm laughing is because I know that this next clip that you're about to see is me pulling this giant dog hair right out from my manicure. Boop, there it is. But I wanted to really highlight that it's important to do coats, thin coats that, or just even coats, one right down the middle and then on the sides. This is what I refer to as wrapping. I feel like other people have called it wrapping, so that's what I call it. But this is kind of the first contact for your fingernails, for everything that you touch. So if you don't wrap it, you can really risk your manicure chipping quite early. And this is also important too. I'm taking ELF or ELF, I don't know what people call it, their concealer brush, and dipping it in acetone to get the paint off of that cuticle. When you have paint that gets on the cuticle, again, you risk your manicure chipping too early because it's on the skin and it kind of lifts up off of the nail. So it's really important to clean up the cuticles as well as the sides to ensure that you have a nice clean finish. Next, I'm taking Revlon's Dreamer. It's this really nice sky blue color, but as you can see, the formula is pretty thin. It's not all that opaque, and I hate to say anything negative about stuff like this, but it's just not my favorite formula. The only reason why I've kept it around this long is because I haven't really found anything that looks similar to it that has a better formula, so I've kept it around. Once I find something that's comparable in color, I'll probably end up replacing it. But it takes several coats for it to become opaque, and I'm not really a fan of that. But again, I'm taking the same concealer brush to kind of clean up the cuticle as well as the sides. And then here's the finished product. I think this was after 3 coats. Next, I'm taking Essie's Off Tropic to paint my ring finger. I really love this color. You can see it in the bottle that it's like this really deep green. Not quite hunter green. But again, take the nail polish, drag it down the middle, and then you're going to drag it down on either side to create this nice even application, and then wrapping the tips. I am still incredibly new at nail art or painting my nails, so I'm still taking that same ELF concealer brush to clean up the cuticles as well as the edges. I still get nail polish all over my skin all the time, so it's important to make sure that you clean up after every application. I love this color. I can only wear OPI by OPI, obviously. But this was the first quote-unquote expensive nail polish that I bought for myself, and I find myself going to it time after time. It's this incredibly light gray color, and I really love it for lots of bases. I feel like people use white as a base coat, but I find myself going to this all the time because it just is awesome. And there's another giant dog hair. Sorry. I'm taking Butter London's Cheeky Chops for the goalpost. So the idea for this type of nail art was just like this nice crisp fall day when football starts and the weather's not too terrible and it's just like this nice breeze. Here in Arizona, it's still burning hot, but the idea is the same. It's a nice crisp day, just right for the football to go through those uprights. Only for the Arizona Cardinals. Go Cards! But you just take 3 vertical lines and then connect them all together with this horizontal line. You can see that there's still some blue underneath that yellow, so it might take you a couple of passes to kind of make those goalposts opaque. But here's the finished product that's coming up, and you'll see that there's just these cute little goalposts ready for those footballs. My initial attempt at this referee jersey, referee uniform, was to take some striping tape and just kind of tape off some sections where I would go over it with the black tape, but it didn't work out as well as I wanted to. The stripes came out a little too thin. So I happened to find this random black striper that I got in a Birchbox a couple of months ago, and I'm just dragging it down my nail. Again, I'm still incredibly new, so please don't judge that my lines are crooked. But it actually came out a lot better than I was anticipating. The lines came out really thick. Here's the finished product. Right before I start making my football, pardon me. So I am just taking the same OPIs, Alpine Snow, making one long vertical line right down the middle of that nail, and then I'm going to make 3 horizontal lines to create the football laces of a football. You'll see later on in this clip that the vertical line wasn't as long as I intended it to be, so I just had to go back through with the same paint to kind of extend that line. But you can use acrylic paint. Some people use acrylic paint. I just feel like I have tons of nail polish, so I might as well use that instead of adding lots of junk to my nail polish collection that my husband would be totally upset at me about. So mumble, rambles, sorry. Moving on to the ring finger, I'm taking the same nail brush and the same paint, and I'm just going to make this one long line right down the middle of my finger and extending into the middle of my finger to make a yardage line. I happen to pick the 10-yard line because I feel like, wow, that's close to getting a touchdown. But just making this one long line. And then as you can see, I'm going to make a vertical line, and that's going to be the one for R10. This happened to work out a lot better than I was anticipating, but numbers, letters, they're always kind of a little bit hard for me at this point, but it worked out really well. And then just go back in and take the same nail polish, the same nail brush, and just make smaller hash lines to show the yardage for the field. And there you have it. Lastly, I'm taking these decals because I'm a huge Arizona Cardinals fan, and I'm just going to be applying them to my pinkies. So it's almost like a temporary tattoo. You can get these all over the internet on Etsy or eBay. And you just kind of stick them to your nail, take a wet rag, apply them, and they stick just great. And that's it. Here's the finished product. You can always top it off with your favorite quick dry top coat. And that's the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy. See y'all next time.